What's going on, folks? This is a special Black and Wild message to the kids at Whitewater Middle School in Mr. Andrews' classroom. I think it's first, second, and fourth period. Um, First, we just wanted to. We heard that you all have been following us on the blog. Thank you. Hopefully, you've enjoyed like our trip across India. I just wanted to do a special message just to talk to you a little bit about ourselves. Uh, so we'll introduce ourselves. I'm Jeremiah Irby, which I'm sure you probably figured out from the blog. Um, from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Went to undergrad there, Winston-Salem State. All three of us went to Winston-Salem State. Was a business major in college, and then afterwards went to grad school at the University of Chicago School of Business, and now I live in New York. Work for JP Morgan in New York in the finance space. It's cool, not bad. And I'll let Kevin introduce himself.
How's it going? My name is Kevin Bryant. I am originally from Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. It's about 4 hours from Charlotte, out east, northeast. As Jeremiah said, went to Winston-Salem State University. I was also a business major. And then after undergrad, I actually went to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where I got my master's in public administration and public policy. Now I work in education in New York. So I basically work as a recruiter for teachers. So yeah, love what I do, and nice to meet you all.
Hello, my name is Merit Berhe. I'm actually originally from Ethiopia, but grew up in Raleigh. Currently, though, I live in Switzerland in Geneva, working for the World Economic Forum. I also, as you know, went to Winston-Salem State, majored in political science and economics, and then later on went to graduate school at Tufts University to do masters in international affairs. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so we just wanted to chat with you all about, our journey. It's, I think it's fair to say it's pretty uncommon to see folks doing something like this, especially black guys. We were the only black group out of, 79 teams who did this.
And the first.
Yeah, and the first.
Yeah.
And, there's often stereotypes about like what people can and can't do, right? Whether it's based on what their skin color is, like what neighborhood they grew up in, what their background is, anything, things like that. I grew up in an environment where me doing something like this is not at all expected and was not at all expected. And the thing is, you just can't let those sort of things limit you. Making sure that you focus while you're in school, learn everything you can, right? Like not just try to get a grade, but actually learn the information so that you can use it later on. Like not just for your job, but for your everyday life, right? Like when it comes to when you get older, buying a car, buying a house, being able to buy a car or a house or a condo or whatever the case may be, or afford to like go on a trip like this, because this was a great trip, fun trip. Raised money for some good charities. Also spent a lot of money out of our own pockets. So just making sure you're in an environment to be able to take care of things like that, I think is really just sort of worthwhile and important. Kevin, how would you say you've defied stereotypes and sort of overcome those things?
Yeah, so similar to what Jeremiah described, I think that just where I'm from makes my situation unique to be living and working in New York City, to be traveling across India. In my graduating class in back in high school, I think I was one of 4 black males that graduated that year, and was the only one. 2 of us graduated from college. One guy took him many extra years. But I feel very privileged in that regard to like just even be in the places that I'm in and experiencing the things that I am at this point in life. So But I would say that for you all, you just can't ever let somebody dictate for you what you're capable of achieving, just period. Like, it's your life, and either you will choose to define what your destiny is, or someone else will define that for you.
Right.
And so, I feel very comfortable here, with these guys and talking to you all, because I work in education and was working in middle schools for several years, and so I know that you all can understand how important it is to take your studies very seriously right now, because it does affect everything that's going to happen in your subsequent life. It'll determine which high school you go to. It'll determine how well you do in high school, and then which college you go to, and then which job opportunities will be available to you. I'll never forget, I was attending a summer camp at UNC Charlotte when I was in middle school, and I was told at that point by a summer teacher that I had, how well you do in school and the decisions that you make right now will ultimately determine the sort of person that you'll marry, which will also ultimately affect your offspring and your children, right? So it's not to say that there's pressure on you, but it is to say, like, you should take your studies very seriously, because everything in your life will be directly affected by what's happening right now. So continue working hard, and I'll turn it over to Merritt and Jeremiah for any other thoughts here.
Yeah, I mean, define stereotypes. Listen, I think Jeremiah and Kevin said it perfectly, but I think the one thing that was pretty clear for us here on this trip, but also I'm sure personally, is the external perception of who you are doesn't change very much, right? Despite having done and accomplished a lot. So I mean, we've all traveled a bit and done a lot in so far in life, but I think even having that kind of an experience doesn't actually do justice to how people actually look at you, right? So we continue to kind of fight those battles, but I think those battles are fought by your experiences. So when you walk away saying, hey, I've done this before. And so if the question is, wow, you guys are here and it must be crazy for you guys. Like, well, not really. It's fine. We've done this before as well, right? So I think having that ammunition of things you've done and accomplished in life gives you, or at least gives you the leverage to fight the stereotypes, and I think or expectations that people have about you. So, and echoing Kevin, those kind of experiences come with I would say a cost, right? The cost is the kind of hard work and time you put in now, which I hope we're an example of how it bears fruit eventually, right? And then we have obviously many things to accomplish in the future, but for those of you who are now in middle school, perhaps we can be the future you, perhaps, in the very near term. But only can do so with the things that Kevin mentioned, right? To really be focused for and planning your future now. So.
Right. I think the thing that I'd add to that is, it's important not only just take your studies serious, but your life. Like, take your life serious. Like, I was always decent in school. I was always actually pretty good in school. But when it came to just ensuring that the people I had around me were worthwhile, right? Because a lot of times what can derail you is not only messing up in class, but you're usually messing up in class because there's something going on outside of the classroom, like the friends you're hanging out with, the environment that you're placing yourself with, whether it's like being railroaded by girls or boys, or just peer pressure from other friends who want you to like skip class and do whatever, or like go steal cars at night, or go break into the pool at night, or just go do whatever might happen, like in middle school, right? Like, I was there. I remember everything that went on. And what we did and what we didn't do, and stealing stuff and everything else like that, right? Fortunately for me, some of those situations never got caught. I have other friends who did get caught, and something like this, doing a trip like this, is not possible for them, right? You have to make sure you're taking your life serious, because as Kevin said, it's almost unfair, but the decisions you make now really will have an impact for the rest of your life. So be smart with your life, your free time, your friends, just everything that you have around you. And I think when it comes to just fulfilling your dreams, like dream big, right? Like dream big. One thing I realized was that like I dreamed too small, and it's taken a while to try to figure out like, okay, if I really could do anything, like what would I want to do? Um, Dream big. Don't let anybody tell you what you can or can't do based on, again, your race, your gender, like even girls. Like we were traveling a lot of this with an all-girls team. Um, None of that stuff matters, right? Your sexual orientation, like none of that sort of stuff matters. Like dream big, get a vision in mind of what you want to do that you think is impossible, and then go for it. So yeah, try to do the impossible. If you feel like you can do it, or like maybe you can, it's probably too small, because you will if you try. So
Yeah, I think what he just said really echoes for me as well. Like, I don't think I ever dreamed big enough, right? Like, and a lot of it I felt like was because I didn't necessarily, or what I blamed was that I didn't know of people. I didn't see people that did these things. So like I didn't think it was something that I should be aspiring to do. And what I'm saying to you as middle schoolers is that that's not an excuse, right? Like if you're gonna own your destiny, you pick up a book and you find that adventure that you want to experience one day. You don't have to know anyone that's done it. You don't even have to know how to make it happen. I can't remember the quote specifically, but it was something to the effect of that I use as kind of like a guiding force in my life. Dream so big that you have to grow into the person that it's going to take to achieve it, right? So just go out there and chase, man. And as Jeremiah said, like surround yourself with good people. Guys, if you're, I know you guys are at the age where you're starting to like, the girls in the class and all this stuff. If she's not something that's good for you, if she's not making you a better person, don't deal with it. And the girls, look, be very selective about these guys. Like what's most important for you all at this stage in your life is being the absolute best scholar and academic that you can be, because very, very soon, the people around you are going to change. Your surroundings are going to change. And this is your chance to define your place in the world right now. And to that, I would also add, make sure you're saying thank you to your teachers, especially, Mr. Jones. Mr. Andrews, I apologize. Mr. Andrews, for even exposing you guys to stuff like this, because the reality is, like, a lot of teachers, work hard and are very much so focused on the things that it's going to take to get you all performing well on your tests at the end of the year and things like that. But what he's doing right now is investing in you as a person and saying that he thinks your future is important enough that he wants you to hear and experience some things that are just totally outside the realm. So Mr. Andrews is really clearly a special guy for doing that. So do what he says and don't give him a hard time. All right?
Definitely agree. Let me just add one thing with dreams. Dreams are nothing but thoughts if you don't add the work to it.
right.
And that is really important. And I can tell you, and these guys can tell you, and Mr. Andrews can tell you that a lot of dreams were lost because people never actually put in the work.
Right.
So it's okay to wanting to be whatever it is that you want to be, but know that like very few things in life are easy, right? And so if you do want to go to college, for example, that's near enough goal for you maybe, and that's, you have to work now, and it takes a lot of pain and dedication and missing out on things that are that you would think are the cool thing to do at this point in time. But looking back now, I was happy I missed a lot of the things, right? And sometimes I did do those things and missed out on school, but I think you have to balance it out. But the main message here being, you have to recognize the kind of work and dedication and time and effort that it takes to make your dreams come true. So as you dream, also plan what's actually required of you to make them happen. So always kind of have that dual expectation for yourself that you have to have. So dream big, but also work big.
Work big,
Which is part of the equation, and it has to be there, or else you just simply won't achieve them.
Yeah. On
That's
that,
all for me.
yeah, I think that about wraps it up. If anybody has any questions or things like that, Mr. Andrews has my contact information.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happy to make myself available
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, you can send us an email, and we're happy to answer any questions. It's cool to maybe one day, because I come through Charlotte usually when I go home to visit family. Maybe when I can stop through and speak to the class or something. Maybe we'll see. If not, we're gonna edit it out. So, but all right. Thanks everyone, and you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of the school year. And thanks again for following us. Hopefully you enjoyed everything. All right.